Can you explain the Spanish history in the Philippines? Sure. So growing up in the Philippines, I do remember the teacher teaching the Spanish history in the Philippines. But of course, that was a long time ago. But most of it, I don't remember because I feel like I was too young to even put it in my head or to even remember it in my brain. But I feel like in school, especially in the Philippines, they don't really teach you everything in terms of history. And I feel like the subjects that they teach us in the Philippines, especially in school, it's been filtered, meaning they did not teach us everything about the history. There are things that they hid from us from knowing the truth. And of course, later on in my life, since I came here in Canada, I discovered or learned a lot of things about history, especially the Spanish colonization in the Philippines. So from what I've learned, Spaniards came and colonized the Philippines for over 350 years, who ruled by Ferdinand Magellan, who was a Portuguese explorer representing the Spain. When Magellan came to the Philippines, he brought a lot of Mexican slaves with him. And hence why a lot of Filipinos' last name is Mexicans, not Spaniards. And I know that this is an ugly truth that a lot of Filipino will never accept. And during the colonization of the Spaniards in the Philippines, Spaniards were not nice at all. Remember this, Filipinos, okay? They were not nice to Filipinos. They were torturing our Filipino ancestors. They were brutal to our Filipino ancestors. Now, I'm not sure what they called Filipinos then because obviously Spaniards named Philippines after King Philip. And that is why we called Philippines Philippines and we called Filipino Filipina as people. And as far as I know, the Philippines used to be called Archipelago before it became Philippines. Now, before the Spaniards came to Archipelago to rule and colonize the archipelago, the people in the archipelago used to have a different religion or different belief. There was no Catholic in the archipelago then. Spaniards or Europeans traveled all over the world, not just the Philippines, to colonize and steal lands from its people, and at the same time to oppress their religion and their belief, meaning they are forcing the people in archipelago to convert into Catholicism. Remember this, Filipinos. Remember this, kababayan. Our ancestors were brutally forced to convert into Catholic. And if you don't convert to Catholic, you will get this. And at the same time, they also perform torture. Remember, Filipinos, our ancestors were forced and tortured so that we will accept Catholic religion. And we must remember, Igorot tribes were the only tribes who refused to accept the Catholic religion because Igorot tribes had their own belief, and that's the reason why they fought back. And obviously, everything is a history. Moving on to now, which is the present, the result of the colonization is obviously religion. And a lot of Filipinos believe that they have Spanish blood even though they don't. A lot of Filipinos' last names are actually Mexicans, not Spaniards. Because remember, Spaniards brought Mexican slaves to the Philippines. And that is why Filipinos, if you want to know your real identity, know who your ancestors are. Our ancestors went through hell during the Spanish colonization. And if you want to get out from the belief system that you currently have, you can simply just start over and learn the history from the very beginning. Because I'll promise you, you'll thank me later. You might not like the result, but it's actually the truth.